Kianala asks, I'm sorry, what human kebabs? Was the meat cooked properly? I can do a react to all three of these sections. That shouldn't be that hard. Let's go to the kebab section. Hold on. Because they talk about this a little bit, but, here we go.
Megaphones instead of whispered in secret. I hate to see it. Do you know what's in your kebab? Many people in the UK thought they did, but one of the largest suppliers, Kismet Kebabs, has just been prosecuted for lying extensively. I'd have to say, this is kind of what you fucking get.
I mean, yeah, there are people, again, just because the company says that you're getting something doesn't necessarily mean you're actually going to get it. We all know this, right? But yeah, there was a company that got recently caught for using kebab meat from animals that aren't being advertised. I don't mind about the horse thing, right? But there have been instances where human meat is actually found in kebab, right? And considering some of the leaked emails from like the Jeffrey Epstein bullshittery, right? Not exactly a question of not exactly surprising that maybe some people had human meat kebabs, because it seemed to have been pointing in that direction. But she'll talk about the human meat kebabs later in this thing. I hit the desk. Ow. Yeah, Dr. of Insanity said, let's see. Now here's the question. Was the meat at least worth the price? Possibly, right? I'm sorry. I ordered a doner kebab, not a donner kebab.
For having, like, why are there so many kebab shops in the UK in the first place? Let's think about that for a second. First of all. Second of all, my only...
We all know why there's so many kebab shops, right? The kebab shops are associated with a particular immigration type. And, you know, an increase of that leads to... Because, again, you bring in a bunch of immigrants from other places, and then you're just going to naturally have more people set up restaurants from those culinary, you know, backgrounds. It's just a thing that's going to happen. There's nothing stopping you from learning how to cook, you know, Indian food, yourself. But let's be fair, you bring a bunch of Indians into Texas, and you're going to get more Indian and Pakistani food places, right? It's just the way that things work, right? So you just ask yourself, okay, what cultures are associated with the kebab, right? You got, for example, the Greeks. You bring in a bunch of Greeks from overseas, and then who would have guessed? You get more kebab shops, right? Let's see. Did you hit your funny bone? I did not. It was the tip of my finger.
Interaction with British kebab shops in the past was reading the articles about how a victim of the grooming gangs was chopped up and made into kebab meat. So I have no idea how so many people in the UK seemingly trusted kebab meat. This has to be like fake statistics.
Yeah, I wouldn't exactly trust UK kebab for a while, to be perfectly honest. Dr. Sanity says, me while eating a kebab, hey, where's Jimmy? Haven't seen him in a while. Wasn't there a Simpsons episode about this exact fucking thing, right? Wasn't there a Simpsons Treehouse of Horror episode where the teachers decided to eat the children, right? They talked about how Uter was particularly succulent as a meal, right? I don't remember what the name of that episode was, though.
This has to be like, oh, all of our politicians loved this kebab meat. The average person knew not to eat it. Wait, why are you guys saying what in all caps? Did a lot of you not know about the fucking grooming gang victim being made into kebab meat? Was that not common knowledge? Am I crazy? Kebabs are good, at least you thought they... I would never eat a kebab unless I made it myself. Ain't no way.
I mean, yeah, considering, especially considering, like, certain groups tend to fuck with your food when, like, again, when they don't like you. So, yeah, I would agree. Kebab is something I would personally only eat if I made it, just due to background context and having experience with certain, you know, groups. I would personally only eat kebabs that I made or that I, came from someone I specifically personally trusted, right? The joy of cooking Millhouse. Okay, there we go. Meat is meat, right? Okay, fair enough. But to be fair, man has a natural aversion to well, it's not a natural aversion. I mean, look at any Paleolithic skeleton, you'll find a lot of them have cannibalism traits on them. And, cannibalism is a thing that has happened recurrently in human history for a reason. But, modern civilized man has a thing against cannibalism for a reason, right? Cannibalism is an insult to the very nature of man.
Their lamb kebabs were labeled as having 50 to 70% of lamb, but DNA testing has shown they have very little lamb.
Yep.
The contents were often skin, fat, goat, beef trim, offcuts, chicken, mutton, and mechanically reclaimed meat.
So basically, they just like So basically, they sold a bunch of shit that's not going to cook properly, and then you're not really going to be able to eat when it's cooked, just to again upcharge essentially.
This is also why I don't like eating certain like jerky meat, mechanically reclaimed chicken. No, thank you.
Hold on. Kun says, I'm gonna butcher this. So it looks to me like it says, Kom Chien Ga, for me, ain't sneaking people meat into my chicken fried rice. That's fair. Cannibal traits, so yeah, so like for example, in Papua New Guinea, there's a thing called like a mortuary feast, which is where the decedent, especially an elderly decedent, is actually like butchered and consumed by the tribe because they believe that it's a way to keep the spiritual authority and the knowledge of the elder and the spirit of the elder within the tribe, right? So, like, and in that particular tribe, they actually apparently have a genetic resistance to kuru, which is a prion disease that, you know, is something you can get through cannibalism. If you look, for example, at many skeletons in, like, Neanderthals or in ancient anatomically modern humans, be they Idal, I think it's mostly Sapiens, but I think some Idal too. I don't know how many complete skeletons we have of those. You'll find that a lot of them have been defleshed, and you can tell this because of the marks that the blades make, mostly stone blades, you know, that are, you know, used to deflesh the bones. But they've been very clearly defleshed, right? And it's something that you sometimes see in, like, animal processing for, like, a pre-civilizational tribes. And then sometimes you just find, like, actual, like, evidence of being gnawed on. So, yeah. There is quite a bit of evidence of human beings consistently in less civilized times committing cannibalism. Ooh, fried rice sounds yummy right now. It really does. Let's see. Or Kom Chien Tom, the shrimp frying my rice is a pro. Fair. Damn, shrimp is good, right? Let's see. Yeah, I'm pretty sure my ancestors would curse me. That's fair. Wouldn't they all, right? My ancestors would probably be a little annoyed by the fact I don't speak Spanish. But then again, the side of my ancestors that fought with the Texans probably is like, hell yeah, we wanted to be American anyway, right?
No thank you, buddy. I don't want to eat that. This also reminds me of the issue with Subway years ago, where Subway's chicken was found to be like less than 40-something% chicken, and the majority of it was like wood pulp or some shit. So legally, Subway shouldn't have been calling their chicken chicken. Should have been like chicken.
I mean, there's a reason I don't eat at Subway, and now I have another reason I don't eat at Subway.
In product. The company made at least £6 million from the fraud, and it was just fined £500,000 plus court costs. They're gonna keep doing it. They don't fucking care.
Yeah.
500,000 is nothing to a company that makes fucking 6 mil. So much for the UK.
The thing is, I think the fraud problem should no longer just be fines. I think people should actually go to prison for it. I don't think it should be just one person. I think multiple people for like fraud schemes like this should probably be subject to going to prison. That would actually put a curb in a lot of the fraud problems, right? Is when people actually start going to prison for committing fraud. Because fraud is ultimately a form of theft, right? Let's see, Ken Otto says, wood pulp ain't the worst thing to eat. I still don't want to eat it.
Number one, halal Donner.
If you're going to sell me chicken, I want to taste the flesh of the fowl, right?
Kebab manufacturer. Is that a joke?
I mean, to be fair, everyone does eat cinnamon.
There is a joke? There's no way.
You may not be after this. Would you know what's in your Donner meat?
What the fuck are you talking about, Doctor? What do you mean the cake subs? No, like Subway, the restaurant. Oh man, my meatball subs. Wait, I haven't had one of those since before the pandemic. You know what? Neither have I, actually.
If I told you it was goat meat.
Oh my god, it is called that. Why the fuck would you call it that? Doner kebab is a real type of
Yeah, I have a sneaking suspicion Kun might have actually seen this episode of Kirscha's stream before this stream, because he did leverage that particular like play on words earlier in the chat.
Bob, but it's a really unfortunate coincidence. I don't care about how of an unfortunate coincidence it is. I would never order something with Donner in the name unless I was at like a ha ha he he Halloween party. We're naming our stuff purposely weird shit.
Fat and even.
Well, that actually kind of reminds me of like the natural history shorts. Great channel, by the way, if you want to go watch like old school Looney Tunes animal style jokes, right? But like more in line with reality. Reminds me of like one of the Halloween animations, right? Where it's like the vampire bat had like a whole like a juice bowl that everyone could get juice out of, right? And everyone thought it was blood. And then it was like, no, it's just juice. And then it turns out, no, it really was blood. It was AB positive blood. It was like, yeah, that's exactly what we got here, right? It's like, yes, the Donner kebabs, because it's Halloween. We're going to pretend like we're eating human meat. And it actually turns out it is human meat. It's a perfect crime. No one would fucking expect it, right? It's like the... Oh, my God. You know, talking about like this fucking cannibalism thing, it reminds me of like all like the Wang reports on cannibalism, right? Like the guy who got his foot amputated in a motorcycle accident, and then he made his foot into like fajita tacos. It's like, what the fuck is wrong with people? Let's see. Kun says, no, I don't watch Kirscha. I mean, that's fair. I just assumed that you were probably, because that's some interesting little ESP right there, right? Germany stated Subway can't call their food sub sandwich due to the amount of sugar in the bread and must classify them as a cake. I am gonna have to look this up, because if that's true, that's so fucking funny. Keanu says, I love teriyaki chicken subs, but all the Subways are so far out of my way after they took one out of Walmart. Yeah. Let's see. That was fair. Hello, Kura. It's like, I like coyote meat, but it's not for everyone, and you have to be particular in how you cook it. I mean, yeah, I mean, anytime you eat a carnivore, you do have to be particular about it, because any parasites that the prey animal has, the coyote is going to accumulate too, right? So predators can sometimes be infested with parasites. Let's see. Kun says, no offense to her, just news isn't my kind of YouTuber watch. I mean, that's entirely fair. Good wordplay transcends. It really does.
Well, one of the UK's largest kebab makers was putting that in their Donner meat for years and selling it at takeaways to millions of us. And they were only found out after investigators did DNA tests. At a raid at Kismet Kebabs, trading standards officers found boxes of fat, lamb and other meats being put into a grinder and then being labelled as 70% lamb. Some of the bogus kebabs had so much fat in them, shop owners were complaining they were going limp and falling off the sticks as they cooked. The company was fined $500,000.
For those who are confused about what's wrong with Donner.
So yeah, she's about to explain this as well, but yeah, so that's what your kebab is supposed to look like, right? But if your kebab is mostly fat and mostly skin, it's gonna fucking melt on you, right? So, yeah, again, they're upselling by giving you a particular weight of product, but it's not the product you actually fucking paid for, right?
Donner Party is a big thing from the past. I can't remember when it happened in the U.S. Where they cannibalized each other. It was a cannibalism party.
Okay, rewind that just so I can read this, because she doesn't actually read this, and I like to read things that are unread. So what began as a hopeful wagon journey from Missouri turned into a slow march into snow, starvation, and choices so terrible they still make people flinch nearly 2 centuries later. The Donner Party did not simply get trapped in winter. They were forced to watch rescue arrive in pieces while hunger turned their very own dead into the only food left. Right? So this is one of those things where it's not like they wanted to commit cannibalism. They were kind of like forced to do so by circumstance. Let's see. Can stew meat be made into kebabs? I don't see why not, to be perfectly honest. That would be, I think that would be more of a doctor of insanity question. He knows more about food than I do. But I would imagine you probably could. I don't know why you wouldn't be able to.
£1 million, but said it's now changed its ways. Investigators have compared the case with the horse meat scandal from more than 10 years ago. So
I'm a little on the fence about eating horse, to be perfectly honest. Like, I have this personal thing where it's like, you can divide animals based off their function, right? Some animals are food animals. You know, when you talk about food animals, you think like the cow, because like everything that comes from the cow is magical, right? And then you get things like, again, like sheep. Sheep is a like food animal, and you can also get like textiles from it, but it's mostly a food animal. Chicken, that's a food animal, right? And then you got animals that are pets, and pets you could describe as something like a companion animal, an animal that has a function, but one of the functions is companionship, right? Obviously, dogs qualify as like a companion animal, right? Cats, obviously, are a companion animal. I don't know about horses, because horses aren't really food animals, but you can eat them, right? You can eat a horse. But they're also not like companion animals. You can have a horse as a companion, and horses do actually form strong emotional bonds with their humans, but that's not really the primary function. That's not even a secondary function of the horse in human civilization, right? Like the primary function of a dog is whatever the function of the breed is, and then the secondary function is, again, it's part of the family unit, right? Same thing with the cat. The cat's function is keep the mice out of the fucking pantry, and then again also to be given head pats, right? Let's see. Keanu says, so Donner became Wendigos. Yes. Doctor of Insanity says, I've seen it done before. And Keanu says, vegans don't understand the difference between pet animal and food animal. A cow can be food or pet. I mean, yeah, but let's be fair. The purpose of the cow is to be food, right? It can also be pet if you don't want to make it into food, but the same thing with a pig, right? A pig can be turned into a pet, but its main function societally is to be food. Let's see. A man ate an entire plane before you can eat anything if you have the will, teeth, and stomach strength to do so. Yeah, that person had pica, though.
Donna for dinner?
Donna for dinner? I don't want to eat the prions. Another...
Okay, that's funny. I don't want to eat the prions. I don't want to get JCK, I think. Wait, is it... Hold on. Is it JCK or JKD? Wait, hold on. Now I'm actually realizing I actually don't remember how it's spelled. Hold on. Is it Jacobson? Hold on. I gotta look this up. I think it's JKCD. Okay. Huh. All right, let's try the roundabout way to find this, because apparently I'm just off. Oh, okay, no, I had it wrong. Okay, I was wrong. It's CJD. Okay, it's CJD. Fuck. It's a Creutzfeldt-Jacobs disease. It's also called subacute spongiform encephalopathy, if you want to know the more medical version of the name, right? But meat cows are super fluffy and cute. I mean, they are, right? Fun fact, the majority of farm animals originate in Asia. I mean, yeah. Right? That you're not wrong about that. Yeah, actually, funny enough, I watched a video about the silk moth like 2 days ago. It was actually really good. Another domesticated animal that originates in Asia, funny enough, right? Let's see. You can eat sheep, but they also can be pet, but also used in textile. Exactly. like obviously things can have more than one function, right? You can use the same hammer to drive in a nail as much as you can to pull out a nail, but they still have a very particular function. And the whole idea of like making a cow into a pet is definitely a more modern idea, to be perfectly honest. All right, now we're getting to they put human beings into the kebabs.
Brought this up just in case people didn't know about the grooming scandal. They put Charlene Downs into kebabs. Stay away from kebab shops, which, yeah, if I was a British patriot, I would never buy from a fucking kebab shop. Ain't no way. Mother of schoolgirl Charlene Downs, who was murdered and minced into kebabs by Blackpool grooming gang, reveals she's still stuck in that day, 20 years on from her disappearance.
So, again, the reason they do this kind of stuff is the total humiliation of their victims, right? That's the actual reason they do this. This isn't just evil for the sake of evil, although it is evil, right? But it is very specifically to elicit a specific effect from the evil action. And that particular effect is total domination, the complete humiliation of the person that it is that they are trying to destroy, and everyone that they love around them, right? Because I think it would be kind of difficult to get over the fact that, like, someone you loved, especially like your daughter, you found out your daughter wasn't just killed, but was also minced into kebab meat, possibly sold to other people to eat, right? Unknowingly. Or possibly knowingly. But, you know.
And this article, 20 years on from it happening,
2020. Yeah, it is kind of like, you can see Stephen Law's the one who posted this comment, but yeah, it's... what a fucking quote of that BBC News article that we had just read, right?
3, by the way.
Well, not read, but you know what I mean.
You remember there suddenly being a lot of Donner Party jokes in the 90s? It was a fad. No idea why it suddenly gained traction 100 years after the fact. Yeah, I remember it, or learning about it from playing Gex. Because in one of...
Core fucking memory unlocked. Gex the Gecko. Great game, by the way. I didn't catch the Donner Party thing because I never thought to actually look up the joke. So, yeah, that one completely flew over my head when I was a wee lad. Keanu says, fun fact, I'm terrified of moths, but silk moths are cute. Oh, yeah, and they can't fly. Kura says, Islam needs to be exsanguinated. Yeah, I personally would agree, right? Destroy the religion. But that being said, you did see this immediately as like a leftist cope. It's like, oh, well, Muslims don't drink, as if like anyone in any given religion ever always follows the edicts of their religion in the first place, right? No, totally. You're never going to find a fucking Catholic priest, you know, in a sexual relationship. You're never going to find fucking like Baptist, you know, commit adultery. Never going to happen, right? It's against their religion. You're never going to find, let's say, you're not going to find like a Jew eating bacon, right? You know, it's just not something that they do, right? No, people do these kinds of things. But what they don't really understand is that anything is permitted in the cause of jihad, right? So all those rules that you might assume just go out the window. And also, in those particular like folders, which you were there when we were reading it for like 13 hours on stream, like Kura, so you can back me up on this. They didn't really say that it was the Muslims who were drinking, right? They had drugs and they had the fucking alcohol, but they didn't seem like the Muslims themselves were the main consumers of the intoxicants by design. But, you know, I digress, right? Kun says, I'm not one for humiliation, I just glass the continent. Well, I mean, there are genuinely innocent people on the continent. There is a thing of proportionality, which means utterly destroy the people guilty, but also don't raise the innocent if at all possible.
The, like, early levels, he kept making Donner Party jokes, and I was like, what is that? I am literally at 13 years old. What is that? So I looked it up, and I learned way early. Holy fuck.
Donner Party for 20. Donner Party for 20.
That game was actually, see, I see that and I'm like, damn. I actually do know a Jew that eats bacon. My point exactly, right? Like, pork is not kosher, but, you know, you'll still find even people who are nominally religious Jews who will eat bacon because, again, not everyone follows the edicts of, actually, most people don't really follow the edicts of their religion to a T. There's always that one rule that the person will make an exception for because they just don't want to follow that particular rule, right? Hopefully I didn't pronounce that word that way. Anyway, yeah, Gex the Gecko was really fun. Core fucking memory unlocked.
Patchouli, thank you. The only kebabs you trusted were made by a Turk and you knew that lived up the street from your aunt in Queens. That guy passed away well over a decade ago, and you wouldn't trust him if you made him yourself. Good lord. Matt Larson, thank you. You picked a bad time to start eating. Well, as long as you're not eating the chopped up bodies of other humans, I think you're fine. I think you're pretty okay.
I don't understand how it is this thing where it's like, oh yes, this has ruined my appetite. It's like I've literally continued eating when people have thrown up next to me. Like, I don't get this sympathetic disgust response, to be perfectly honest. So Kuro says, yes, I was. It's like, yes, I was. No, they weren't the ones doing the drinking. Exactly, right? It was like, oh, but there were so many leftists who were like, oh yeah, well, Muslims don't drink. It's like, first of all, some of them do. They shouldn't by the edicts of their own religion, but that's neither here nor there, right? But second of all, it's like, that's not what the report said. It just said they had alcohol and that they were using alcohol and drugs to make the girls like pliant. So it's like it's the total lack of reading comprehension again on the far left, which is ever more vexing and frustrating. And it takes sometimes a lot in me to not glow like the fucking sun and be ridiculously like just abrasive when people pull shit like that. Let's see. Keanu says, lucky at Cosmic, I gag at throw up. I mean, that's entirely fair. There's nothing wrong with having a sympathetic response, right? It's just your mirror neurons doing exactly what they're supposed to do. It's just, I'm not as there's a portion of that empathic response that just doesn't function in me, which is like, again, like if someone gets hurt, I'll like wince in pain. I might wince in pain or I might not, right? Although to be fair, I did just watch the fucking Brandon Herrera video on like the Darwin Awards where like 5 people accidentally killed themselves in that particular like list of Darwin Award videos, right? Including the guy who shot the Indian guy who shot himself in the heart. And it's like, what the fuck are you doing, you absolute retard? Or that guy who looked like he might have been a Slav, like pointing a gun at his forehead. Like, oh yeah, see, nothing's gonna... And then blows the back of his head off. You know, censored, obviously, because, you know, the guy's on YouTube and he has to censor these things. But it's like, I don't exactly have a sympathetic response to the videos like that either. I grew up in the time of live leaks, so it's like, not exactly... Like, I don't have an immediate emotional response to that. Even though I'm like, damn, that's fucking ridiculous. It absolutely shouldn't have happened, right? But... you know, goodness is a choice, I guess, right? That's all I gotta say. Let me see. Kura said, ooh, I was Chernobyl when you were reading that. Well, you know, yeah. Doctor of Insanity says, I swear, officer, the alcohol isn't mine. It's the invisible mind wizard you can't see. I watch people be stupid and have no response beyond calling them morons. Yeah. I mean, that's fair.